The pace of the game. Our youngsters can only learn from watching these guys play, and it comes down to their coaches. Right? At the end of the day, they've got two coaches that are unbelievably passionate, unbelievably crazy, and who put their heart and soul into driving these boys. They've made sure they're disciplined, they've made sure they've worked hard, they've made sure they've played it at an intensity and pace to prepare them for the next level, which hopefully will be our under 18 APL team next year. And so I really want to say a huge thank you both to Mirko and to Sean. You're talking about two ex-professional footballers who've played at the highest level, who don't have kids playing in this team, but have given up 3 nights a week, endless weekends, and huge amount of time and energy to make sure that this team has been pushed to its limit to try and make it better. So I'd like to ask Mirko to please come on stage and join our talk.
Dignitaries, guests, parents and players, thank you very much for all attending this evening, and it's a wonderful turnout again for football Gold Coast again. Firstly on the APL bid, I always say it how it is, and I can't see any other entity getting this apart from us guys here. So if you all agree with that, a big round of applause for Gold Coast. Okay. Now, more importantly about my 16s and Sean's 16s. I can't thank the players and more importantly the parents and everyone concerned involved with this club, with this team this year, about the effort that they've put in to what Sean and I have requested from them. As Troy mentioned, we are probably not the two most simple guys to get on with, but everything that we've asked from these guys, they've produced, and they've produced it in abundance. The parents have complimented these kids by allowing us to do our job. And I believe for anyone who's had the opportunity to watch these talented young boys play football, that's the proof in the pudding there as far as that goes. More importantly, we all should remember that our children play football for their enjoyment and not ours. And that's something that the parents in our 16s have allowed us to reiterate to our boys, and our boys, I think, from the start of the year to where we've ended up with them, have proven to themselves, most importantly, that's the reason we play football. Whether it's at the under 12 level or whether you're playing professionally at Raw or anywhere else, unless you have an enjoyment of the game, you'll never succeed anywhere. And most importantly, my peers, the table down the end there. We bounce ideas off each other constantly. We turn up and we back each other when one of us struggles to get to a session or when things don't work right. We use each other as our strength and our tool. The administration side of things has been very generous as well too in all its difficult times. It's very hard to run an organisation like this without any chinks, but I believe that the Federation and Gold Coast have done an exceptional job. And I believe given the opportunity next year, we're going to go from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Morgan.
Well, thank you, congratulations.
Alex.
Well done.
Cheers. Michael Hedder. Benjamin Hogsberg.
Well done. Congratulations on your
Big man.
Hey.
Kane.
Oh, they're coming thick and fast.
Congratulations. Bradley.
Congratulations. Well done.
Again, it's just fantastic to see the girls team at this age come together. They started the first 3 games in the Rebel JPL, and unfortunately that competition fell away. And we were fortunate enough to get them into the Brisbane JPL competition, where they were incredible and went on to win the competition. So I'd like to ask the coach for the under 12s, Jeremy, to please come up on stage.
Jeremy. Well done.
What size, girls? Left you till last, didn't they? Firstly, I'd like to thank obviously Gold Coast Football Gold Coast. I'd like to thank Football Queensland, and especially I'd like to thank Football Brisbane for letting us go into the competition this year. It was a good thing for them to let us do that because, as Troy said, at the start of the year there was a little bit of uncertainty as to whether we would end up continuing, being that we lost that fourth team in the JPL. And lucky for us, we ended up playing in Brisbane and we did quite well, didn't we? Few people I would like to thank as well, especially the parents. Big thank you to you guys. You know, obviously even being a coach, to get that thank you, you've done well, a little bit of support from you towards myself, it's just a nice thing to get. You know, it makes me feel good. It's just a wonderful thing to do. To the girls, this team is, you know, they've been nothing short of spectacular. It's wonderful to coach a bunch of dedicated kids that all want to be there, that all want to train, that are so focused and have such a wonderful team spirit. So girls, congratulations to you, you've done extremely well, and I hope I get that opportunity to do
this. These girls actually played half in the under 13 age group in Brisbane and still won the competition. Hannah, Stephanie, Madison, Bronte, Sophie, Maya, Connie Palmer, Leah, Ashley, Sarah, and Connor. Let's give a big round of applause. That took place up there. One of these young ladies actually won the player of the entire tournament, which is a massive honor. We recognise playing up and on the 13 age group against all the best players from Brisbane. 712-year-old take out the top honour as the most outstanding player, I think is fantastic. So we'd like to please ask Ashley Kelly to come forward. Introduced to football because they get dragged around to soccer fields for the last 5 years because of their brothers. It's a positive thing. If you've got a son playing football, there's a very good chance you're going to have a daughter playing football as well. Both Maya and Hannah are two young ladies that I've seen who have older brothers, and I can remember them 5 years ago standing on the side of a field asking why they needed to be there. And now they are the reason why their parents are here tonight. So congratulations, girls. Good job. And for some of them, this is the highlight of their career. And it's our responsibility to work with these youngsters every day and to try and give them that opportunity to go on and play with better players, play at a higher level, and achieve their dreams. So I'm not going to ask them all to come up on stage right now. What I would like to do is, when I call out your name, I'd like you to ask you to please stand at your table so we can recognise those players who've been selected for training squads for the state of Queensland. And then we'll follow that by asking those players who've actually made the Queensland state team to please join us on stage. Developing, and we have a very rich pool of talent based on the Gold Coast. And for me personally, and I know the board and the coaches, it's one of the reasons why we fought so hard to try and keep this program and to keep taking this program forward. Without a program like this, all of the young talent that's here would be lost back to clubs, and we all know where we've come from, and I think most of us would agree that this environment gives our kids the best opportunity to develop their talent and to go on to greater honours. So fantastic job. I'd now like to recognise the players who've actually made the state teams, and I'd like them to join Pat Hedges and Gary French up on the stage. So Pat and Gary, please come up. Under 13 girls, Braylon Bond, Breland, Layla, can you please come up on stage? And Madeline Coe. Under 14 girls, 18, Ambrosia, Laura Seville, Veronica, Jade, and Mia Davis. And under 15, Ellie. Under 13, Erin, Finn, and shadow player Josh. Under 14, Jamie Charlton, Cara Rolls, and Nick D'Agostino. Charlton, indoor stage. He doesn't move this slowly on the field, I can guarantee that. Do you want to say a few words? No. Okay. When did you take up football?
5 years ago.
Only 5 years ago. Right. Before there was a rugby union player. Who would have thought? Yeah? Started playing at 14 years old. 13, 11?
12.
12? Yep. Alright. And worked exceptionally hard. And for all those youngsters that are sitting here tonight, okay, I'd encourage you to come out and watch the under-16s play. This guy is a striker, plays up front, his work ethic is second to none. When he comes off the field, he doesn't die wandering, right? You can be absolutely guaranteed that when Shelford walks off the field, that there's a few defenders that know they've been in a game, and that he hasn't left anything out of the park. And it's that work ethic, and it's that determination, and the ability to listen to his coaches and take stuff on board that's seen him rise to making the Australian Schoolboys Under-19 team, which is an incredible achievement. So I just wanted to recognise him, and I think we should give him a massive round of applause. I would now like to ask every single rep coach, from the girls and the boys and their assistants, to please join me on the stage. And all the players, please show their appreciation and show the coaches. I'd like to thank you for your passion for the game. I'd like to thank you for your enthusiasm in terms of learning the game, continually trying to improve our players, trying to take our game forward. Jeff Foster alluded previously to the fact that this is the final year of the Rebel Junior Premier League. We have submitted a bid for Football Gold Coast to run the APL licence on the Gold Coast. We have the support of 28 clubs on the Gold Coast. I strongly believe that this license should be run by the Federation with the support of all the football clubs. It shouldn't be run by a private enterprise. We may not be here in 3 years' time. It shouldn't be run by a single club who will only look after the interests of their own players. It should be looked after by a group that represents all 29 clubs and all 11,000 players that live on the Gold Coast. We represent the Gold Coast as a community, and we have the resources, we have the passion for the game, and we have the structures in place. We will do our final bid presentation tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in Brisbane. I can absolutely guarantee you that when we leave there after 1 hour, that the committee that makes the decisions will be left with no doubt in their mind that we are the right people to run the game, to run this organisation, and the most passionate people to ensure that our kids keep getting developed and have the right pathways to go forward. As soon as we have that information, we will share that information with every single one of you and get back into pre-season training and trials for next season. So you might be able to enjoy a break for 2 or 3 weeks, but the moment we are notified that we've been awarded the JPL license, we will go 100% back to work to ensure that 2013 is even more successful than this year. And we will be asking for help. We'll be looking for volunteers, we'll be looking for sponsors from the community, and we'll be looking for administrators and coaches and people who want to get involved in the game to step forward and join us. If you have football at heart and you're interested in helping develop this game, I would encourage you to put up your hand and to help us. Because it cannot be run by one person. It requires all of us to give some input to take the game forward. So finally, I'd like to thank the parents, I'd like to thank our guests tonight, I'd like to thank the players, and I'd like to thank the coaches. And I can honestly say, I hope that we get to see you all again in 3 weeks' time. Thank you very much.